Hey everybody, T-Man here, bringing you another video, and today is going to be, this video is going to be my match of the week. And as you guys saw on my last week's match of the week, I said this week is going to be involving CM Punk. And you know, it's a funny thing, you know, last week when I was thinking about what my future match of the week was going to be the very next week, you know, every week that I do it, I kind of like want to have an idea of what my next match of the week is going to be the very next week. And it's so funny because, like, you know, my last two match of the weeks have been more old school wrestling, so I kind of wanted to break it up and do some new school wrestling from this modern age of wrestling this week. And I already had a match in mind, and as you guys can see from the description, my match of the week this week is CM Punk versus John Cena from Money in the Bank 2011. Okay, now it's funny, as I was saying, CM Punk, as you guys probably know if you're watching this video and that are wrestling fans, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this, is, you know, CM Punk's big ol' podcast on the Colt Cabana show, that was quite controversial. You know, he said a lot of things about Vince, the WWE, and Triple H, and it was a very good interview podcast. And you guys could see my thoughts on the CM Punk. I made a video on that. You guys can check that out. But I'm not going to get in depth about that. If you guys want to see my opinions, what I think about that, by the way, if you want a short answer, I love the CM Punk interview. I think he said everything that was wrong with WWE. Anyways, let's focus on this match. This match was you know, I don't want to pinpoint and talk shit about a lot of the modern day wrestling, because there are some great wrestlers on this roster. CM Punk was one of them. Daniel Bryan, Antonio Cesaro, I think, is a good worker. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose are both good workers. Bray Wyatt's a good worker. But when I was thinking about the match of the week that I wanted to do, CM Punk and John Cena had it all. You know, during that point, they had a great chemistry, a great rivalry in 2011. And if you remember, this was at the time when it was 3 years ago when CM Punk's contract was first coming up to an end, and CM Punk really did wanted to leave, and that's when he dropped his epic pipe bomb, as people like to call it, his pipe bomb interview. Vince McMahon saw the money at that point. He knew he had to re-sign him, promised a lot of things to CM Punk at that time, and we got the match, CM Punk, John Cena, and the storyline was that, you know, CM Punk's contract was ending that night of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view of 2011, and so it made a really great match. It was a 30-minute match, which I believe, when you got two guys in there that can work. I mean, John Cena's not a great worker. He's a great entertainer. He's not a horrible worker. He's improved a lot. John Cena has improved a lot in his wrestling in the past 10 years, which, I mean, I'm sure you would learn something. I mean, you've been around in the last 10 years. And that's the thing about John Cena. Like, I've said a lot of bad things about him, but I don't think John Cena's a horrible guy or whatever. I just don't like the way they've booked John Cena over the past 10 years. I think they've booked him completely wrong, but he's improved his wrestling skills, you know, tremendously in the past 10 years. And when you get in the ring with somebody like a CM Punk, I mean, there's certain guys that could have a good match with anybody. CM Punk was one of those guys that could go out there, and despite what the other style of wrestling he's the other wrestler is, he could go out there and have a great match. And CM Punk was one of those guys. Antonio Cesaro is one of those guys. Old school Ric Flair was one of the guys. Bret Hart was one of those guys. Those are the guys where you could throw them out there with almost everybody, and they could have a really good match. You know, they could have a 5-star match, and this is what this match was. This was a great match. So if you guys, like I said, every week I like to bring you guys a great match of the week, and The last couple weeks have been more old school heavy, but I'm gonna try to break it up here and there. And it's just, so this is a great from the modern day era, 2011. You could guys watch that on the WWE Network if you have it. If not, it is on YouTube. You guys could just type in CM Punk versus John Cena from the 2011 Money in the Bank pay-per-view. It was a good match, and then you even had Vince McMahon coming out at the end to almost like kind of pull off a Montreal screw job, you know, like try to, you know, but John Cena's goody good said, no, let me do it. Great match. It had everything, you know. It had some slow parts in there with some great technical wrestling with some headlocks, whatever. And then at the end, it has like all the great finishing moves. I mean, I think John Cena hit the AA attitude adjustment. I remember when it was the FU move when he first started it. He hit that a few times. CM Punk hit that. It's a great wrestling match. I like to bring you guys the best wrestling matches. So if you guys have comments about my match of the weeks and what you think of them, I think you guys will enjoy. Next week, I'm going back to my old school. I don't have a specific match I have in mind right now. Usually, I like to tell you who it's involving. I have a couple matches in mind. And let me give you a couple quick updates before I wrap this video up. I like to make my match of the week videos short and sweet, to the point, and just let you guys know what matches to see. As you know, we're getting close. Right now, it's December. Once we get into January, my match of the weeks, I kind of want to get into like a theme. So, like, on the road to the Royal Rumble after the TLC pay-per-view, I'm going to pick my match of the weeks from the Royal Rumbles. Not necessarily a Royal Rumble match, but maybe some of the singles Royal Rumble matches that they have. I already have a couple in mind that were great Royal Rumble single matches, title matches, whatever. Great wrestling matches. Because that's what I want my match of the weeks to be about, is great professional wrestling matches for you guys. Okay? Like I said, I've got a whole bunch of match of the weeks I have planned for you, and they're great matches. When you sit down, I promise you guys are not going to regret that. So that's another plan I have for my match of the week segments. I am also after Royal Rumble, I'm going to do a road to WrestleMania where my match of the weeks are going to be from WrestleMania. Just through these special seasons, I'm doing that. Other than that, they're going to be match of the weeks from all different, not necessarily all WWE, you know, WCW, NWA, ECW, even TNA. You know, this channel has been a real WWE heavy, but I am going to be starting doing my TNA videos real soon. So, okay, guys, other than that, that's about it for this video. I'll see you for the next one. Stay safe, guys.